Right, it's Monday morning and it's the Barber Buzz. I'm Brandon Smith. I'm here with Aaron V. Hill, Amy Lincoln. Jacob's got the day off today. But our guest today is Dereck Rosenoff. How you doing, Dereck?
I'm good. What's up, guys?
Speaking of cowboys, I don't want to rub any salt in any wounds, but McGregor fight lasted 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Cowboy got dominated. So
lost money.
I spent $64 for a 40-second fight. I watched all the prelims. I watched all the undercards, and it was a good show. And there was a lot of good fights. The women were just brutal. Holly Holm, everyone was expecting a lot from her. She kind of just went and clinched and grappled and didn't really do a whole lot, but she won her match against a girl from Colorado Springs, actually. I forget the name. So there's a few people from Colorado out there.
Yeah, Cowboy is from Colorado Springs.
Denver.
Yeah.
Denver, yeah.
Too bad he got knocked out in
No, I'm
40
happy.
seconds.
I was going for McGregor. I wanted to see his return, the King's return.
Yeah, I didn't really know who would win that fight. Like, it was kind of a draw for me, but I've always had a softer spot for McGregor, especially when he decided to take on boxing against Mayweather.
Yeah, I mean that was a straight cash in, man.
Yeah, publicity.
They knew what they were doing. I think you're gonna see. I think if you're a fight fan, you're gonna see a lot of shoulder checking in the future. I think he pretty much just started a trend.
Yeah, I've never really seen anything like that before either.
No. Gave him 3 shoulders to the face, broke his nose.
I remember hearing it, but live you didn't see him do it.
Yeah.
You heard it. It sounded like body shots or something.
Oh man, yeah. They got a good sound on that. It was just smack. His nose was. You could see it after the second one. His nose was toast, and then he just turned around, kicked him right in the head, and that was it, man. He was done.
To me, maybe I'm the only one that feels like this, but I feel like McGregor showed up just in shape and ripped and ready to go, and I just didn't feel like Cowboy was as.
He's healthy, and he's in a new weight class. What is it, welterweight that they're in right now? I could be wrong, but he's in a new weight class, and Cowboy, he's kind of been dominating that class for a while. It wasn't a title fight or anything like that. It was just him coming back and getting back into it and shooting for a title. What he said, he likes this weight class. I think he's going to stick around in this weight class for a while. So he's got three knockout victories in 3 different weight classes. So this dude's cruising.
I had a hard time with UFC for a while just because I grew up, my family was just diehard boxing fans. So I had a hard time switching over to the mixed martial arts stuff. Probably about 2 years ago is when I finally, boxing kind of ran its course, and you weren't getting the big, huge venues and things with boxing. So that was when I kind of started getting more into the mixed martial arts stuff. But it takes a special kind of athlete, I feel, to be able to grapple, to do jiu-jitsu, to kickbox, to box, it's just you got to be such a well-rounded fighter now.
Well, UFC's taken over too. I think when Conor versed Mayweather, it was the second highest rated pay-per-view fight in history. I don't know what the first one was, but everyone sees Conor McGregor, and if you weren't a UFC or a McGregor fan, after watching that Mayweather fight, I'm sure he picked up a lot of new followers, and shined a brighter light on the UFC. So it's the future of fighting, man, for sure.
Definitely a new fan base. I've heard talks of Mayweather McGregor 2. I don't know if that's coming into fruition. I don't really know what that would do for.
Does anybody really care about Mayweather anymore?
I mean, the guy has gold jets in his driveway.
Mayweather does.
Oh, sure.
I think
Sure
I think if everything, I don't know, who knows? I don't think so. I don't really see it, but money talks. So
he made like $160 million to fight Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor made $60 million or something like that.
Yeah, it was cash in. Give me that kind of money, bro. I won't do a thing for the rest of my life.
I'll go 99 for $80 million.
Yeah. I will you'll see me disappear. That's what you'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that was a huge draw because it got boxing fans and UFC fans alike in the same arena. and it validated UFC to boxing fans, that these guys, they can hold their own.
Looked at it like a gimmick almost.
Yeah, and I really think that even since that fight, we've seen more boxing in a higher light. But I do think that UFC is still going to be the top dog. All right, well, we got to take a break here. We'll be back on Martin Luther King Day, the Barber Buzz, 1400 KRLN.
I mean, they have probably like 3/4 of it built. It's right off the highway, so you can't miss it.
Right off the
It
strip.
is just murdered out black.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is pretty sweet.
It's sick. We're actually heading out in June for the International Hair Show, which it's hair shows on steroids. It's these guys like P. Diddy's barber. I can't think of his name.
I stopped following a lot of barbers on Instagram.
Yeah,
barbering is getting real fruity.
It is, but these guys are teaching classes. They've got tools in their name now. They've got product lines. That's basically what it is. It's just like if you're into hair at all, it is the hair showcase. Kind of the same thing with rodeo. It's when you're there for rodeo, that's when you're there for football now, and you're there for Knights hockey.
Well, I gave him a little grief before, but I'm familiar with rodeo and team roping. Try it one time. It's not as easy as it looks. Just throw the rope, tie it. No, there's a lot involved. Not only if you got a hit or healer.
I heel mostly.
Your heel mostly, okay. So he's got to look and make sure the cow's turned where he can get it. Make sure you get 2 legs in there. It's hard. You got to get that timing. It's just almost impeccable to make it work, and make it work in a short period of time.
For like people that aren't hardcore rodeo fans like myself, like what do you do? Like what's the process of what you do? Like how do they score? What's the objective?
So there's a guy, there's a header on the left side, steers in the middle, the heeler's on the right side. There's a barrier. That means that steer's got to be let out a certain ways before the header can actually break that barrier. If you break the barrier, it's penalties. It adds seconds on. You rope a leg, it's going to add more time. So the object here is to rope that steer around the horns and then turn them on a 90-degree angle, and then the heeler come in there and rope 2 feet. Both people dally, face each other, and time stops.
Yep. So the shortest time wins without any
Right.
penalties, barrier penalties, or 1 leg catches, or
The majority of the time, it's like a progressive on 1 4 steer, 5 steer. So you have to do that with that same partner 4 or 5 times to make any money.
So do you have do the partners change, or do you have like an assigned team?
Yeah, like at jackpots they change. You might have anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 different guys that you rope with.
So you've got to learn and coordinate with someone you don't normally work with.
Yeah,
on the fly.
And some people do things a little bit different, but for the most part, there's kind of a universal way that you should be trying to handle steers and ride your horse to where all that stuff comes together. Horses play a huge part in it.
Well, and in general, the animals play. You got a steer that takes off in a different direction, or a horse that isn't completely trained. That's a huge. But I've been around rodeo my whole life. One whole side of my family is huge into rodeo. I had 2 cousins go to college on rodeo scholarships, so it's something I've been around. I used to ride gymkhanas when I was little, but I'm deathly allergic to horses, so there was not a future in that for me.
get into bull riding. What do you think?
Yeah.
I rode bulls from the time I was 13, started in Little Britches, to the time I was 19 or 20.
That's my kiddo, man. Phil, he's 7 going on 8, and all he wants to do is ride stuff. He's in every mutton busting competition I can get him in.
That's where most of them started.
Yeah.
Is fairs and mutton busting. They kind of got those little tastes, and they started riding little steers, and kind of progressed from there.
He's trying to talk mommy into Bronx this year, and mommy's just shaking her head. Nuh-uh.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be great.
But
actually, I can't remember if it's saddle bronc or bareback. There's probably the toughest on the body.
Oh yeah.
Bareback.
It's
Right,
bareback
for sure.
because of just the action that's
Right.
involved. And they say, well, it's bull riding. No. It's hard to really kind of gauge it is, but that's hard on the body.
Those horses are.
Oh man.
I mean, in the chute is the worst place to be in the bucking chutes. Those horses they're wild. I mean, flip over backwards. You don't typically see bulls do that. I mean, they'll kind of thrash around and smash your legs and stuff. But those horses, some of them,
they get nuts.
yeah,
Oh,
that's scary.
I don't have a problem with him progressing up to that, but in my opinion, we're gonna ride sheep until we're too old or too heavy to ride sheep, and then we can move on.
Well, they got mini broncs.
Yeah,
and mini bulls.
exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of how you progress up to it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They do have even in Vegas, they have like the junior NFR
Yeah.
and stuff anymore, to where kids from I forget how many they take, maybe 40 or something like that, but they'll all come down there and then get on these little mini bucking bulls and mini horses, and they're handy.
Oh yeah.
Already kids 6, 7, 8 years old.
I mean, they're winning world titles.
Yeah, exactly. We went to NFR 2004, sat next to Reba McEntire. That was
Nice.
kind of cool. She was trying to be low key and not let anybody recognize her, but
Did you get an autograph?
we knew. No, I'm not.
Reba.
I'm not that guy. She just wanted to watch the rodeo. So
That's all right. I'm okay with that.
yeah, we just had a conversation and that was it. But
The only
she
thing
was there sitting with the normal folk.
The only thing I remember Reba from is from Little Rascals, man. When they, at the end
Oh,
of the race, they're like, "You're a girl."
yeah. Oh, she was in there.
Yeah.
Not
You're
familiar with their music.
You got to be familiar with Fancy.
Yes.
Fancy.
That's like her most famous song.
Yeah.
I think all of her songs are
fancy.
famous, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like,
Sorry, my God. Let me brush up on some Reba.
Yeah.
So, well, owning the gym, do you feel like?
I don't own the gym.
Well, okay.
But-
having the gym.
Yes.
Do you feel like that helps you with your team
Yeah.
roping?
Yeah, I think being in the gym and having some goals to work towards and having a plan to do that benefits everything. The older I get, the more lazy I get. So it's kind of a grind all the time. Been doing it a long time, but I'd probably just fall apart if it wasn't for the gym and at least some sort of a maintenance deal.
Well, and I know you're a huge golfer as well.
I like to play golf.
Well, I played golf in high school, and I killed myself in the gym, and I feel like that gave me such an advantage over.
Yes.
And people were like, "What do you mean you're working out for golf?"
Yep.
I'm working out for golf.
Well, now look at them. I mean,
Yeah,
there's more that are in shape. Rory McIlroy,
yeah,
Brooks Koepka, Tiger Woods, Bryson DeChambeau. Like the majority of the guys are in the gym now, all in shape. Used to, when I was growing up, it seemed like golfers were fat and soft, and
yeah.
but they're hitting it forever now. And
They're in better shape than most MLB baseball players.
yeah, they take it serious. There's truth to it. And then you can even see it in yourself. A lot of people play golf and talk about being in the gym versus not, and you're almost never too old for anything as far as health and fitness goes. You can always get, better yourself, but to be 50, 60-year-old guys gaining swing speed and ball speed and all that just by having some sort of gym routine. I don't like the word routine, but at least getting there a few days a week and putting in an effort, it goes a long way.
I want to break into the fitness talk. We don't have a lot of time before we go, but I'd sent Aaron a video this weekend about a guy talking about training at a consistency. If you could do 10 pull-ups and that's your max and you can't do 11, don't do 10, do 5 so that you can go do 5 the next day. Because if you do 10, then you can't do 10 again until Thursday. You do 10 on Monday, you can't do 10 again until Thursday because of your rest time there, and you're sore and you're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you do 5 on Monday, 5 on Tuesday, 5 on Wednesday, at the end of the week, that guy that's consistent with his repetitions, then when 5 becomes easy, you do 6. He's doing more reps through the week than the guy that's killing himself on Monday, killing himself on Thursday, And
and he's done more. He's done more work for that week. So you work
Right.
6 days a week. You know, you've got 25, 30.
yeah,
There's studies that are
as
saying
opposed to
that
10.
too.
I don't like to be sore. That's so like.
Well, you're gonna be sore, but you know as far as split training is where you have maybe 15 sets of something. Now they're wanting you to do 5 sets 3 times that week instead of 15 on that day. Is what they're saying.
We still good? All right. All right, we'll be back. 1400 KRLN, the Barber Buzz. San Francisco 49ers. That's pretty much what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, you've been talking about it a lot.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes versus Jimmy Garoppolo. I like them both. I like both quarterbacks. It's going to be such an interesting Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid as the coaches, and it's just going to be, for lack of a better word, it's going to be lit. I'm super excited. I haven't like been this excited about a Super Bowl in a long time because I just cannot stand the Patriots at all.
Yeah.
I have a lot of family from Kansas, and I didn't watch the game, so here I was scrolling on Facebook, and all my family is just going crazy because the Chiefs had won, and so I'm gonna be rooting for them.
Well, my little guy Phil, he's got the Patrick Mahomes hair going.
Yes.
Like we got it all mullety and permed, and he's all Patrick Mahomes. But I told him you can't be a Philip Lindsay and a Bronco fan, and a Patrick Mahomes and a Chiefs fan. That just doesn't work. But when you're 7, it's all about these players, and if he's gonna look up to somebody, Patrick Mahomes is a good guy on and off the field. So I'm okay with it. But I'm excited about this Super Bowl. The Titans, though, I feel bad for them. Such a Cinderella story coming into the playoffs, switching their quarterback from Mariota to Tannehill mid-season, and what a way to get there. Just win, and they just couldn't stop that run, and they couldn't stop Mahomes, and it was a great weekend for football. Kind of sad to see Aaron Rodgers not perform at Aaron Rodgers' level, but it was interesting, the scores. Dereck and I had talked about this in the shop on Thursday, and what were your scores that you picked for the Kansas City Tennessee game?
It was, I don't remember.
Was it like 30? You said 35?
I had a 10-point difference.
35-24?
Yeah.
And that was almost it.
Yeah.
I think that was the exact
Well, it was
score.
11. They went by 11, right?
And I said 24-21. But I figured the first half would be pretty defensive only, on both sides, but that definitely wasn't the case. I didn't get to watch as much of the second game, the 49ers game, just because I coach 14-year-old baseball and we were handling some stuff, but I did catch the tail end, and it just seemed like nothing was happening on the Green Bay side, like
just mistakes,
penalties.
Snap,
I mean, that's definitely not the menu you don't want to have a bad day on that day. That's the day that you want to go into the Super Bowl. But it's quite exciting. I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. Should we have a Super Bowl party?
Sure.
I'm taking Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you look at the scores from yesterday, they were almost, the Green Bay game and the Kansas City game, the scores were almost identical. And but 49ers had a couple more points than KC did. I don't know if that makes any difference.
No. Mahomes, he's got the intangibles.
Yeah, he does.
He's
got the weapons.
I don't know how you beat him.
You got to be Jimmy Garoppolo, I guess.
No, I'm not worried about Jimmy Garoppolo.
No. What about Sherman and that 49er defense?
They're good, but Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, fastest dude in the NFL, and then the guy with all the swag.
Yeah, it's going to make it interesting for sure, that defense versus that offense. So let's move on. What do you want to do next?
Just enjoy Jen's company. What's new with you, Brandon? What's going on in your little world?
Lots of new things. Just trying to catch my feet underneath me as I'm racing in one direction to the next. Work has definitely become the first part of my day. now with all my new challenges and my new.
Seems like you're a glutton for punishment.
You know, I
How
like
much more can
Yeah,
we
then he
stack
comes
on
here.
plate?
Yeah, I like to go to bed tired, but it's just catching my footing. It hasn't been a lot yet, but I think it's coming.
I think you have just a storm headed your way.
Oh yeah, well, there's definitely a storm.
Dip your toes right now. It's about to swallow you up.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting here soon. But luckily, it's all on my own time. And there's a couple things that interfere with work here and there, but I'm excited about it too. Though, even, as much work as it is, it's also exciting to play a part in the future, and I'm excited about that. Got a good team that's with me, and I got good leaders that are gonna lead me in the right direction. So I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Well, you've got Riverwalk and stuff coming up.
Yep.
That's going to be a big portion. Of course, our downtown makeover is still going on. I mean,
Still going on.
There's a lot of things that are on your basically on your slate there that's going to have to be dealt with.
And that's probably the only con that I can find is that we've kind of been handed a non-functioning system, and we got to figure out how to function it. And I think we'll figure it out though.
It's always a challenge.
We got a lot of ideas at the dais, so I think that it's going to be great. As much as I don't want to talk about city council stuff on this venue.
Well, you can talk about it as long as it's not something that
Specific,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we're
Just
playing.
don't bore us.
Yeah, I don't want to bore you. You guys get bored enough at the shop when everybody comes in and wants to talk city business. So
It's either city or baseball.
yeah, city or baseball. That's pretty much my life.
Football.
Football, yeah. Well, baseball though, I'm coaching 2 teams this year. So, but this is my last year with my older boy, and then I get to hand him off to the high school. So it'll be interesting. Him and that group of boys, we've been together since we were 10. So it'll be exciting next year to hand them up and sit in the stands and kind of hope we prepared them enough, and hope that these kids get a shot at playing some varsity and in the future. It's exciting for that group of boys to move into that next step in their baseball careers. And then I got my little guy who we're coming back for our second year 8 and under competitive. And last year they came from only T-ball, and you're in a competitive situation and you're wondering, did we prepare them enough? Did we do enough repetition? Did we explain the rules enough? And they came out and went 10-5 and just giggled all the way to the end of the season and had a blast with it. And I'm excited this year because last year Philip was 6 playing 8 and under. Now he's 7 playing 8 and under. So that year, these kids they've gotten taller, they've gotten smarter, a little more mature. Mouthier, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's part of the game. The only thing I worry about the little guys is the stuff that's happening in baseball right now. I don't want that to distract them. I know they look up to these pros a lot. They want to emulate them. Bryce Harper will always be one of their favorites, and luckily they seem to pick good role models. So
MLB's cleaning house right now, though.
I like it though. I like that there's a reaction to a problem. I didn't realize how sophisticated this cheating thing actually was.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like super in depth.
Super in depth, and I feel like they've cleaned house on GMs, coaches, managers, and now they're looking into players. But I think it's good for baseball, because baseball has baseball for me is life. I pick baseball over anything. You guys know that.
I wonder if these teams consulted the Patriots when they're like, "Hey, we need a leg up on our."
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
I doubt it, but
How do you cheat and get away with it
you don't.
all the time?
You don't.
Well, if you're in the NFL,
If you're in the NFL, but
pretty easy.
I feel like the NFL kind of looks the other way, like, oh, that's over, that's done. But I like to see that the baseball is taking it serious. Even if it's a minor cheating situation, but I think it's good for baseball because it's putting baseball in the headlines. Sometimes I watch ESPN and it's like, man, how come they don't talk about baseball anymore? Or how come this huge thing in baseball happened, but we're talking about this minor thing in NBA or this minor thing in NFL, and here's this huge thing that happened in baseball, and it's not news.
See, that's what I like about rodeo. It's hard to cheat in rodeo.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
really
you
is.
can.
I don't think you can. I mean, I know there's some things they get away with, but a sharp judge is going to just hammer them on it. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's tough.
It's tough to cheat in baseball too. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you have the World Series that got fixed back in 1919, but it's a tough sport to cheat in baseball. But when you start bringing technology into sign stealing is as old as baseball.
Yeah.
I mean I expect, especially my older boys, if they're on second base, I expect them to be watching the catcher's signs. You know, I expect that. But when you start bringing technology in, it just changes the whole situation. But we got to take a break. We'll be right back. 1400 KRLN.
Here's Mechanical Dot. 3-year parts and labor warranty. Come on down. I'd love to show you how to drive.
And we're back, 1400 KRLM. It's Blue Monday and Martin Luther King Day, which for some of these blues artists, you know, Martin Luther King definitely paved the way for him, gave him a little bit of a hope there. But let's move on.
It's not gonna.
Martin the man.
Martin the man.
Amy, what did you do this weekend? I haven't heard from you in a while. No,
Well,
I
because
know.
you've been gone.
I know if I
around.
don't hear from Amy, she's up to no good. So, how was your weekend? What did you do?
It was good. Yesterday I went to Springs, like I took myself out on a date. Went shopping, ate lunch. It was a good day. Good day for shopping.
What'd you buy?
Too much.
Too much?
Yeah. For some reason, like the stores think that winter is like over in January, so everything was on sale. So sweaters, coats, boots. I just went ham.
Winter doesn't start until like mid-February, March.
For us.
Yeah, for us. Yeah.
But you gotta remember, most of these headquarters of these businesses are like in California.
I know,
and,
right? Felt a breeze. Like, okay, get rid of it.
Yeah. Let's start transitioning into swimwear.
Yeah, they're already like in stores. It's crazy.
Are you
What?
serious? Like,
Yeah.
And coats kind of hit the scene like the end of August,
Mhm.
and then they're done in January. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I need to get to Old Navy and get my flip-flop game straight. 'Cause
You gotta buy better flip flops than Old Navy.
Yeah, you do.
$5 for like
Yeah.
flip-flops that last forever.
They don't last forever.
No.
They last like
Maybe.
2 months.
Maybe if you wear it like once a month, but
I like the Old Navy ones because when you're walking, you get that snap like on your heel. You know, like people know you're
Yeah, the
coming.
pop.
You're just clapping all the way.
It's almost
through.
as good as the shoes that light up.
Yeah, there you
Do they still make those?
I hope so.
They made a comeback there for a minute, like adult sizes, and they.
I saw these ones on Amazon. Like you can program the LEDs with your phone. Like you see these grown men just putting on a light show, just
Yeah.
walking down the street.
Putting out the vibe, dude. Those are sweet.
That's for the club, bro.
That's
For the
awesome.
club.
I don't know. I feel like you're gonna scare off any lady within a 20-mile radius with those things.
And the shorts they're wearing these days too.
Yeah.
Everything's
what's up with
getting-
shorty shorts.
Oh, man.
shorts.
Bring
yeah.
back the jorts.
Way too short.
I saw a guy at the Rockies game. We went to the Rockies Cubs game last summer, and he had a Cubs jersey on, and these shorts that were fringed, like
Like
mid
cutoffs.
thigh,
Daisy
mid thigh, yeah. And I was like, oh my lord,
Maybe he works them legs. Maybe he
Yeah.
just got these six
Showing
shots.
them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
Look at them.
not a comfortable enough man, dude.
My shorts don't like at least touch the top of my knee, man. We're having issues.
That's like the golf shorts.
Are they short?
Man,
short
they're all the shorts are starting to get.
creeping up.
Yeah. I hate it.
I
I mean, I don't necessarily want them, below my knees,
Right.
like Jordans or something like that. But I'm definitely not trying to
Expose
show
your upper
everything.
thigh.
Right. Right. That's nobody wants to see that anyway.
I'm definitely not one that you ask for fashion advice because I live in golf shorts all summer. I mean,
But what I'm talking about is how short they're getting.
no, I know. I live in golf shorts, and they're not supposed to go shorter than that.
Right.
That knee line.
Right.
Someone didn't get that memo because apparently they're.
It's not hip anymore.
No.
It's bringing back the '80s. Even the basketball players.
Yeah, I remember watching that one. I think it was like college game. Yeah, he had some really shorts
How do you
on.
keep everything in there, man?
Had to go there.
Netting.
Had to go there.
Had to go there. Me, I'm blue jeans.
I'm
I
getting
wore
older.
shorts. It'd be another. That's another flavor of white.
Yeah.
You know, that's
See-through.
Exactly.
Because we're in the barbershop all day, every day. Like we're vampires come summer, and
I'm so pissed.
there's no color to us. We're
You're
like
ritzy. Isn't that what you? How you
ritzy, yeah.
Not even. We're getting to the saltine
Oh, that's it.
shade here. Yeah, no, I need to hit the tanning bed or something before summertime because
First Choice Fitness.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Come tan.
Start
That's
protein.
where I go. That's my spot.
Well,
If you just if you can deal with dudes taking their shirts off while they're working out.
You know.
You need to hire like a bouncer.
I think so,
just
man.
like meant to handle. I already know one perpetrator. I won't put him on blast.
There's
He knows who he is.
there's a number of them. They're all not that bad, but yeah, some got to get it out there on social media. I suppose. I guess it's, that's
Do
how
your
everything's
thing.
done now.
I just like if I see I don't have an issue with like shirt off, but like when you're on a machine, some sweaty dudes just like
Yeah,
they get up and that machine is just glistening.
right. We have
that's-
squirt bottles all over.
Yeah.
Clean it down, man. It's not hard. These are all stuff that from years of it. Certain things I can deal with, others I can't. One of them is, get you a pump back there. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then we're not a bodybuilding gym. So there'll be somebody that is, but there also might be 4 60-year-old ladies over there plus a child.
yeah.
People are trying to take their shirt off and
Posing up.
yeah, with their shorts, getting it all out there,
So to speak.
so to speak. Yeah, pun intended.
There's gym etiquette. There's barber etiquette. Everything has an etiquette.
I think the worst is like you want to use something, and then you got Leroy and Harold just chopping it up, just right there. It's like one foot on the machine, the other one sitting there just jawing,
Yeah.
and it's like
Back
are
in
you-
my day.
Yeah, are you using it? Are you not?
Yeah.
And that generational thing, like you walk into the locker room and it's just everything's hanging out, man.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
And they want to talk too. Come here, boy. Let me tell you something.
It's like, could you put your pants on first?
Yeah.
Really?
Never mind that. How's your mom and dad?
Yeah, exactly. Move on.
Don't you worry about that. Mike. I don't know.
Well, I feel like the gym's come a long way from where it was. What do you guys attest to that?
As far as where we're at now,
Yeah.
it's going in a good direction. Really, we're growing, and there's there's competition in the area, but it seems like there's a spot for all of us. Our gym is we try to have a little bit of everything so that everybody can come and get out of it what they need to. Don't really favor one discipline over the other, I guess. So I like that portion of it, and then we're constantly trying to grow and put new equipment, new things in there. We got a shaker. It was actually donated to us, and supposedly you get on it and it just shakes the calories out of you. I don't know if
That's
you've been in there in a while.
Some
You
of those
stand
deals
on
that
it.
has a belt and just
It doesn't have a belt anymore.
really.
Yeah, you just stand on it. And supposedly,
Oh.
I guess you're supposed to do squats and stuff like that to
Well,
build
doing
like
it.
stabilizer muscles.
So the
But
platform's doing it.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if it works, but we have one.
I think I have one of those little shakers with a belt. My
That-
mom had
Something
something
like
back when.
1930s stuff.
Yeah.
That's what most people are
Yeah.
going back to. It's like it's just like that without the belt.
What?
That's
they
called
were-
denial, man. That's like I
I went
used
to
to
the
have-
gym and it shook me.
Yeah,
It shook all the
That's right.
calories right out of me.
shaking all this fat.
I
You
like
know.
that. What was that? The ab thing that shocked you?
Shocked.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like that would work kind of.
I felt like
just
we
to
did
build
that.
it.
I mean, in football, you'd have something wrong with you, like tape, pull something or do something like that. They have those, I forget what they're called, but they shock you.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
multiple times.
Mhm.
I feel like that's the same thing, but
It's like a pin or something, right?
yeah, I really don't understand how that works.
It
Chiropractor
blocks
said
the
it.
nerve endings or blocks the nerve trends so you don't feel the
I
pain.
actually
Yeah.
had that when I had some
It's like a
issues.
grill starter, and then just
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I had some issues with a nerve in my leg, and they use that thing all the time trying to get that nerve to. Obviously, it didn't work, so I had to have a nerve release. But yeah, they tried everything. You know, what's that? Dry needling, where they needle you up and shock you. It sounds terrible, but
I just haven't taken the leg. Just
it sounds terrible,
cut it
but
off.
when your nerves aren't firing and they put it in, you know, it actually feels good because your muscles start to atrophy. So you
Makes it work.
when it contracts that muscle, it feels great. You know,
it's like a massage. Huh?
yeah.
We'll just go out and get tasered.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
fix the whole body.
Yeah.
Go square up with a cop, see if you can't figure
In
it
the face.
out. Yeah.
Has anybody?
No.
Now I'm going to ask this because has anybody here had that experience?
I've been tased before.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
not fun.
we worked at the
No.
prison, so
Yeah.
we had
So it's-
we had to ride those tasers before we could use them. So
Well, you know, we did it because I was former law enforcement. They said, well, you have to be able to say, okay, I know how it feels.
right.
Yep.
I have a gun.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, time to take one to the
Yeah.
one to the shoulder.
You just
here.
take one
Yeah.
to the calf. You'll be right.
Well, last time I went, I was in a group of a bunch of young kids. I was helping them with a police academy, and I was the old guy there. And they said, you know, do we need to call the ambulance now? Okay, very funny, very funny.
Probably.
I took my ride, I did, and then half the guys that were sitting there whining about it, wouldn't take the whole ride.
Of course
they
not.
started screaming as soon as it hit them.
Of course not.
And I'm like, And then the same thing with the pepper spray. You go, well, you want to get shot in the face with it and see how it feels, or take a Q-tip. And I'm like, Q-tip, I've been down this path. Guy goes, you're just a wimp. Okay, so he stood out there far enough and he hit that button, and just about the time that spray got here, he opened his eyes. That's
Yeah.
about 2 inches in front of his face, and just, he paid for that for the last
I
couple
get
of days.
tased before they
Yeah.
gas me in the face.
Oh,
I
that
will
pepper
ride
spray's
electricity
nasty.
all day before, because gas just
That's
just
nasty.
lasts forever. It never goes away.
Dude.
Electricity, once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
That's it.
It sucks for a minute, but it's
It does
over,
suck.
and then you're
For lack of a better term, it
on
does
with
suck.
life.
What a dark turn. Just
Yeah, dark turn.
Well,
Never
you
know.
know what? We're trying to avoid people from entangling with police officers who have this kind of weaponry. So let's
Yeah,
just
public service announcement.
PSA big
just
time.
don't tangle with the cops.
That's
Don't
right.
get shot.
Or maced.
Or mace.
Well, yeah,
Spray.
pepper spray, yeah. You still got, you got a little over a minute.
Lost my train of thought there.
Uh-oh.
Sorry there.
Got on pepper and went away.
Yeah, pepper spray. Howdy.
Owie.
One way of putting it.
So what do you got going on next, man? What's your do you have a competition coming up soon, or
Yeah,
what's the
I
next step here?
I go to Arizona in February to the first part of March. Just rope every day, jackpot every day. It's good. That's my form of a vacation, I guess.
Just working.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
All right. Well, I hate to cut the party short, but I want to thank Dereck for coming on,
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yay!
and we'll see you guys next Monday, 1400, the Barber Buzz.